So one of my favorite things about this movie is I'm going to get to take my 4-year-old niece, who is just exploring movies like for the first time, where she's sitting through them entirely now. And it excites me because I know there's going to come a time when she looks back on one that she has seen and say to herself, like, that was the first time I was wholly consumed by movie magic. So I want to know what that movie is for you. The very first time you realized the power that big screen storytelling could have.
I remember, the first memory that I have of going to the theater was to go see Pocahontas. And that was like such a cool, like just, it's so immersive when you're not just sitting in front of like a 12-inch TV, which is what we had at home. And just the sound and the colors and the experience it's like seared in the old dome.
I'm getting such wholesome answers to that question. I'm like, Batman Returns. Watching Danny DeVito like bite the head off a fish. That's my memory.
Also very strong. That's really good.
Very strong memory.
It's cooler.
So this is your very first time voicing an animated character. I have many questions about that. First, did you seek out any advice for how to do that? And if so, what is the best piece of advice you were given?
I sought no advice whatsoever, which was my first big mistake. I went in and in the first 4-hour chunk that we did, blew my voice out entirely because I went for it, which is, you got to go for it. But I didn't, I only use my voice to talk on a daily basis and not to do like big evil voices for the most part. So I did learn as we went along that like I needed to do a bit of warming up and I needed to take care of myself a little bit more and not just go in and scream my head off.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So warming up, if you had to give another piece of advice to another actor who's about to do their first voice acting gig, what would it be?
I would say do what I just did after the movie wrapped, which is sign up for voice lessons. And even if it's not to learn how to sing, it's at least to learn how to use your breath properly and control your voice a little bit more. And so I think drop into some lessons if you can.
Oh, breath work is so important. Is there anything surprising you learned during those lessons that now you're eager to apply to a future voice acting gig?
Okay, so I just signed up for the lessons. I haven't taken one yet.
Signing up is
the first step.
It's a very valuable step. It is important.
Yes. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
I want to know. We'll circle back.
Okay.
I want to know a little bit about working with Kirk and Faryn. What did you appreciate about the two of them the most as actors, directors, especially, coming to understand what it means for a director to direct an actor in a voice performance versus one doing that on a live action set?
Kirk and Faryn were so much fun and they were so collaborative. So you go in and the way we did it was I would just read one line 3 times and then we'd open it up and they'd throw out ideas and we'd chat about it. And it was clear how much fun they were having with the project and how passionate they were about it and how there's still like a whole lot of little kid infused in both of them. So we did a lot of laughing and a lot of like trying something out, and often it would sound ridiculous, and sometimes it would sound ridiculous in like the perfect way. So it was amazing to work with both of them.
Can you give me an example of something that you thought sounded ridiculous? Maybe you took it to an 11 or beyond and you never thought in a million years they'd use it, and now it's in the finished film.
I think like one of my first really evil laughs that I did.
You have a good evil laugh.
I know, it came like uncomfortably naturally. But I did it and I kind of like surprised myself, and then I started to laugh and they were like, no, like, can you do that again? And I was like, I genuinely don't know. But no, it was so much fun working with this.
Spot on. I love it. So going from voice acting back to live action acting, is there any tool that you've kind of added to your acting toolkit, so to speak, that you think actually might come in handy in live action acting as well?
Yeah, I do think the kind of like lack of inhibition. The lack of inhibition. Just like getting into the booth and knowing that you're going to look ridiculous and knowing that you want to try something and just doing it to see how it works out. I think I do want to take that back to film and TV acting. Just if you're going to look dumb, you're going to look dumb. But also if you're going to figure something out, sometimes you have to look dumb or take a risk to do it. And so, yeah, I want to try to bring that back with me.
Demands fearlessness.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the best parts about the experience. So this will be a good segue to this question. This might get awkward, but I want to ask you about efforts.
Oh, God.
I want to know, what is the effort that comes most naturally to you? That's the easiest to do. But then on the other hand, I want to know what, an average everyday sound that's like the most difficult to replicate in one of your sessions.
The thing that comes the most easily to me is laughing. And it's the efforts that we get to the effort page and I'm like, oh my God, like you don't have a trident in your hand and you're not under the, so you have to like, it's the grunts and like the kind of guttural screams that don't come as naturally to me, which I guess is a good thing. And you're also kind of contained in this really small booth. So even though the action in the movie is like literally throwing a trident, you can't do that. So you just kind of have to like tense your body as much as you can and do small versions of like whatever the action is. And it looks ridiculous. I wish there was a little video of everyone doing theirs because
there's a little bit of video out there. I have watched some of it.
Oh God.
It's
not
delightful.
Of me, of everyone else. That's all I want to see.
It is all delightful. I will confirm you are all doing exactly what you need to be doing. A personal question inspired by Ruby. So this movie is all about Ruby finding her power, finding the value in her voice. I want to know the first acting project that had that happen to you, where you kind of realized acting isn't just about, doing what I'm told and reading the lines on the page, but I have a voice that I should share, people should listen, and can influence projects that I work on for the better.
Wow. That is something that I'm constantly working on achieving, I think. But it was the role that gave me the most confidence in myself was definitely Alexis Rose in Schitt's Creek. A bunch of seasons in and because there was huge imposter syndrome going on in the first bunch of seasons and sometimes still. But a bunch of seasons in, I was like, I know what I'm doing now. And like, it feels good and I can strap on my stilettos and like walk onto set and feel like I know what I'm doing.
You shouldn't have imposter syndrome, but when I think about that, the positive spin is that like you have it because you've done something so special that it's hard for you to believe it. And it's a good thing.
It's so good sweet. Thank you.
I try sometimes. Thank you for your time today. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.